Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that. Right. It's better that an Adiran envoy do it.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fior, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
Who knew an Archmage could be so relatable?
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear ya. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
That's the spirit. And funny you should mention it. I have a theory about the garden. Or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? You're not the only one. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Just one. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilichi, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilichi that I missed out on the most exciting part.
Fair weather or foul?
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Ugh, why am I so anxious? You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. Animancers don't ask why. We ask how. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Mesiverno, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Many years ago, when Fior Mesiverno was barely a dot on the map, an Animancer got lost in the wilderness. He came upon a pair of ancient trees, their trunks and branches intertwined. A strange light shone in the space between the trees, and beyond that light, a city of gold. So the Animancer returned with an axe to chop the trees apart and fit his body through the narrow gap. But with every blow of his axe, the towers of the Golden City fell. The walls crumbled, the lights flickered out. By the time he made it through, there was nothing left. Only the bones of a once mighty civilization. As for the two trees, they were dead, hacked to splinters, leaving him no path back the way he came. Very perceptive. What do you think it is? I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about yours. That is true of many places, not just the living lands. These stories might not shine any light on the garden, but they could inform the way we think about it. First, the garden is beyond all mortal understanding. If you think you're safe here, you're not. And second, when you walk into the unknown, make sure to bring a friend. Life is full of such contradictions. I say it's better to acknowledge them rather than pretend they don't exist. Hey, you're a good listener. Not everyone has the patience to hold their questions to the end. Alas, that is all I can tell you about the garden. For now, at least. Certainly. You've heard them. Well, what do you want to know? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsley gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsley taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsley protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. Go on then. I'm listening. Go on then. Not before I've done some reading.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. We already talked about Kai. Did you want to know about Giada or Yatsley? Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the Vrikas, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, And she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Thanks for talking. Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her, no one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too, when she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns. Until next time. Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked... I don't know. Things have changed. She's not so bad. I mean, but other than that, you too.
There's my favorite Adiran. Careful what you wish for. So, they arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land. Well, that's a bit harder to explain. The Godless are so singular, but in their... my guess... Yes, well, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms. One of the... 10 years ago, you could say, suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. Ah, well, that one might stay in your dreams, darling. There was some kind of schism, and from what I can glean, the Godless... There are even some... Not... It seems like the Godless really took... Almost like I've dreamt about the Akita my entire life. Well, I think we've covered it. Rather, as much as I think you'll... Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help? We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. But Kai's hiding a lot behind that humor of his, isn't he? Thinking that could be Quilici in me is... not something I want to think about. And Marius! Gods, after what we saw at his village, I'm even more impressed by his good humor. As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. You seem pretty fond of us, Envoy. Someone needs to keep our wit razor sharp, so I think we should keep him a while longer. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Quilici is quite good at knowing when to be sweet and when to be sour.
Yatsley, that's my surrogate father you're talking about? Spare my imagination, if you please.
Oh, you knew the risks when you came over uninvited, darling. It's on your head. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. I'll leave you alone to do whatever envoys do. We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk. Don't mind if I do.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet. And judging from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. They're a few provocations away from disaster. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelgard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. No matter what. Hey, it's not like you could possibly make the mess we're in worse, right? Anytime. What's on your mind? I barely plan further than the next meal, and you're asking me? I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared. That's a better way of putting it. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sapado and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest, and when the moment comes, follow your instincts. And I stand by it. Next time you need to find a bakery, I'm your man. You're the one who founded God's prison. I hear you, though. It's easier to give that advice than to take it. But look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the Living Lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now. So did my commanding officers. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. She's young. She'll get there. Until then, there are certainly worse things to be driven by. You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. I'm not so sure about the new friend she's making. Ringram's a dangerous maniac, and I don't like the influence she has over Yatsley. And I couldn't believe how ready she was to sacrifice Shatterscarp as part of that Archmage's spell. I'm still shaking that one off, to be honest. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada, and Giada's a good influence on her. I'm pretty sure Yatsley flirts with everybody. I don't read anything into it. Don't get me wrong, she's a striking woman, but she and Quilici have a good thing. I'd never get in the middle of something like that. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Sure. Yeah, it happens. Sharing the road and sharing each other's battles. But out of all the people I've fought alongside, I haven't gotten to know many of them as well as you. You always know what to do. It's like you've got an internal compass guiding you. Not many people have such a clear sense of direction, especially in situations as complicated as these. I never thought I'd feel this at ease again with anyone else, much less myself. But you helped me face loss, regret. After drifting for a long time, I finally feel like I belong again. Thanks. I feel the same. Me too. So whatever you need, whatever it takes to finish this journey, I'm with you. To the end. I'm not sure I'll be much help, but I'll try. Rest while you can. We're almost at the end of this.
I wanted to thank you. You've been a really good friend to me, and I appreciate it.
Something on your mind, Maurice?
Running into Iancu reminded me that I did have friends in Solace. And when I left, I more or less lost them. Since then, I lost track of how lonely I was getting. Then, you and the envoy showed up.
That's what friends are for.
Seriously, though, you treated me like kith. Not like an exile or a drunken loss of a person. I needed that more than I knew.
We're here for you when you need us. Anytime.
Oh, and if you tell anyone I said that, I'll put a twig viper in your bedroll.
There he is.
Looks like we'll have to find another way through. Or not.
Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
I think we've found Sapadal's home.
Ready, aim. Is he really not? Feeling like that.
On your left, dear!
Lava be your secret.
I was just getting warmed up.
Quiet as the depths.
Lava be your secret.
Here it comes.
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Don't look down.
Envoy, pinch me. I must be dreaming. I've long imagined what the garden could look like, but... even all the depictions I've seen in all the ruins, they didn't do it justice. And that's not even counting all the little surprises we've gotten. And you! You're on the way to meet your god. Years of being an unclaimed godlike. And now... it feels like a typhoon of information has hit us. I've yet to catch my breath. There are even floating sky islands. How are you staying so calm? Oh, you hide it masterfully, dearie. Just be sure to remember everything we see. I'll want to pick your brain later. This place it's more than I could have ever dreamed. I know we have to find your god and figure out what to do with them, but... oh, I almost feel like I could stay here forever. Oh, fair point. I suppose I'd have to make supply runs from time to time. Still, oh, it's breathtaking here. And think how much I could learn here. Pockets of time in the lives of the Akita are here, and... oh, but we've not even gotten to the end yet. We haven't seen everything. Let's get moving.
If we make it out of this place, we'll have stories to tell. Wonder if anyone will believe them. I barely plan for the... I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared. I know. That's gotta make this difficult advice to follow. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sabato and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest, and when the moment comes, follow your instincts. Probably because I'm not the one making the decision. But look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the Living Lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now. Night, Envoy.
Let me guess. Bad dreams? I don't know what I expected. Everything here feels wrong. As if we're standing in the eye of a storm. Can you feel it? Essences radiating from the very stones on which we walk. This is a place of power, forgotten by time. We are insignificant by comparison. Does that answer your question? Good, because I'm not sure any of that made sense. One word of advice. Trust nothing you see or hear. For all we know, this is happening in your head. Or better yet, in mine. Who could rest at a time like this?
Envoy, what do you need? before I've done some reading. Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her. No one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too. When she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns. Pleasant dreams.
Do you think you could teach me to shoot?
Sure, but why? You know spells that'll knock an ogre on their back.
I've seen some very pretty guns. I think the right one would fit with my outfit, and I'd hate to miss out.
Fair enough. I'll teach you to shoot if you teach me some spells.
Sure. As long as you don't make me start with Tane's chaotic orb.
What does that one do? Now that you mentioned it, that's the only one I want to learn.
Let's see how good you are at teaching. Then we can talk about the fun spells.
Envoy, what do you need? If I must.
Marius, I've been wondering about something.
What's that?
How do we keep finding Zorobs on every continent? They don't strike me as the seafaring type.
Oh, that's simple. Zarbs probably stow away on merchant ships or ride on the back of dragons or something like that.
What if Aora was once a single landmass, and the Zorob tribes drifted apart over the years? Could that be possible?
Well, that's a theory. You might need to look into it some more before telling it to anyone else, of course.
I'm pretty sure you're overthinking it. It's like rats. You see them everywhere too, but they don't have their own navy either.
Maybe you're right. But I like my theory.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. The seabed speaks in riddles, a pearl whose shell we cannot grasp. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. We did once. New sweet peas bloom in the grove. We would try. Vengeance denied. Squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. But worse. So much worse. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Wanna know what I think? I think someone's laughing at me. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, And Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
I don't know what to say. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. It's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good Animancer embraces death, and they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual, organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends, drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
That's 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade. You have already learned more than we could ever teach. We know only growth and stillness, root and flower.
We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same.
garden is whatever you plant in it.
Sapodal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do, seen as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
This feels like one of those times when getting answers doesn't mean getting closure.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapodal's. Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand, and it's creepy, but wonderful. They probably won't even notice me, but stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giata Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
If anyone's gonna lead the way for animancy, I can't think of a better fit than you.
I see the disciple has found her way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
I was unclear last time. I will not repeat my mistake.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. chaos threatens us all, we will ensure order prevails. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You dare claim the domain of the gods is trivial? Mind your tongue. Your blasphemy strains my patience.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. I refuse to even dignify that with a response. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Wodika's appeal. Still don't.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
liked them better when they were dead.
Lava will be your sink!
Good fighting. What is that? I know that place, right? No. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here, and for a purpose.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Right. Okay, I can do this. Let's get into it.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
They're right, Viate. This lava flows directly between us.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I think it did. He really did seem at peace, right? I imagine most encounters with dead old friends don't, go so well. I owe a lot of that to you, Envoy. You helped me be someone who could handle Sokka like that. Thank you. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. I guess not, huh? You probably never expected to die and come right back either. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
What a massacre.
Here we go!
Won't hold up. Lava will be your secret. Lava will be your secret.
Wait. Isn't that Tama's cairn? Oh dear.
Are you seeing this too? No. No. This can't be. This room. It looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? Then why does he look so unfamiliar? I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. Yeah, it is. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. Yeah. I never realized what an injustice I was doing to us both. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. And now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Coming in hot.
What, like it's hard?
Stand back.
sea office in its heyday, in its full splendor.
What is happening? As the affliction faster even here. It threatens our heart. We cannot fight this invasion alone. See clearly. We must. We must.
You restless too? It's hard to tell how much time is passing. Try to get some rest.
One for you! Yahtzee, remind me not to make you mad. Stand back.
Ready? Bang.
were here all the yesterdays before. A curse. Ancient whispers. Do not let it escape, they said. We feel no spark of the Tibaris Inachus in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. Still wings, the clear glass of the pond. They took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly, the stillness of night split by grinding steel. A chill in our spine. How could we name it? First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. How could we fight what we did not understand? A sword slashing darkness. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. A jug to catch water. We overflowed. We persisted. We were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. They could not destroy us. They would destroy all who knew us. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. A chill wind. Our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. We are the rain, the swaying grass. What do they have to fear? We speak, though we are bound. Perhaps our soul was always free. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
You're mine now!
Huh.